used to feel like everywhere I'm the same. I didn't know then what I know now. A race is just a game. It don't get deeper. I didn't know then what I know now. A race is just a game. It don't get deeper. It don't get deeper. A little Palo Santo. Deep in the bottom of Africa. Deep in the bottom. Deep in the bottom. In the bottom of Africa. Listen, it was about to turn into a whole concert up in here, okay? I had to stop myself. Ooh, I might have a little dance party. All right, so let's get serious for a second. Bring it back. Thank you, Father God, for allowing me to come forth this evening, this blessed, beautiful evening, on this wonderful weekend night to join with my beautiful collective that have come to visit me. Thank you for your presence in our lives. Thank you for this rest that we're about to get, if that's what we're getting ready to do. Some of y'all might be headed out to the club. Some of y'all might be headed out to bed. Whatever you're getting ready to do, headed out to work, your job. I don't even like using that word, work. Wherever you are in the world at this moment watching this, thank you for coming. Lord, I thank you for these people now, and I ask that you will protect them and watch over them as you have done so with myself and my own family, my actual physical family, but this is my extended family. We thank you for our ancestors. We thank you for their wisdom. We thank you for their guidance and their positivity of cheering us along. We thank you for these archangels for being on assignment, for accepting the assignment to heal us, guide us, and deliver messages to us, and for accepting the assignment. We love you, we praise you, and we thank you with our whole beings. We acknowledge you as the Most High, and thank you for your provisions. Thank you for these manifestations, and thank you for this time to just be grateful and breathe. And the church said, amen. All right, so I mentioned that I was going to try something different. And I've decided to move this to the evening to see how I like it. So perhaps there will be more videos. Maybe there won't be. We're going to try it tonight. Something on my little smoke. I got to wash it off. Okay. I'm warm. Hold on 1 second. I got to get some air up in here. It don't get deep. I had to open up the window. It's getting warm in here. All these candles. I would imagine so. Let's see how this is about to go, y'all, because it might be a little too dim in here. And as you know, I be struggling in the daylight, baby. So we shall see. We shall see. How you feeling? I pull my hair back. This is serious business, baby. I'm not tired at all. But my bed is magical. So once I lay down, honey, it's lights out. I'm pure octane, and then good night. All right, let's see. So for those of you all who don't know me and who are new, welcome. For those of you who have been following along, thank you for coming back. You're watching my evolution, and I appreciate you. Oh, and we return any negative energy, any evil eye, and all your little negative thoughts, should you have any who are watching. Shame on you for watching if you are hating. But we return all of that back to sender, okay? 10 times fold, so enjoy all of that. Because God don't play about me, baby. You better ask somebody. But yes, thank you for joining me. You could be doing anything and you decided to watch moi. It don't get deeper than the bottom of Africa. Ooh, I love so much music, like so many different genres of music. But lately I have been stuck, quite literally, on Afro Latin infusions. Like, I'm there. But I love everything. I'm an 80s baby, honey. I love everything. Me and jazz are iffy, you know. Blues, definitely not. We can keep that sad stuff over there. Okay? All the way over there. But just about everything else, if it's catchy and it's positive and I'm not signing my soul to the devil by singing some lyrics that I ain't got no business singing, yeah, I'm there. Okay, we got some cards. I need a flashlight in this joint. It's dark. You talk about candlelight for real. Can you even see me? I'm light skinned. Okay, we got 2 cards out for our blessed 7. Ain't nothing changed but the daytime, but the time of day. All right. May you experience the love of Christ. Then you will be made complete with all the fullness of life and power that comes from God. Ephesians 3:19. Give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. 1 Peter 5:7. We just got that card. Second card out. Moving right along. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Matthew 21:22. I need to shuffle better, honey. Prayer crowns God with the honor and glory due to his name, and God crowns prayer with the assurance and comfort. The most praying souls are the most assured souls. Thomas Brooks. Yep. Okay, we're going to shuffle this better because I feel like we just got these cards. And I know because I just edited it. It don't get deeper. Watch, I'm be dreaming about the Nile candles and all kinds of Egyptian stuff tonight. I bet you. So that's all I can see right now. I literally am looking at the Nile in a boat. I've always loved ancient Egyptian history. How about you? I mean, it just called to me as a kid. And it really, I lived right next to a museum, literally, and was also in close proximity to other museums as a child, and spent most of my childhood either on the lake or at a museum, which is why I think Indiana Jones quite naturally appealed to me. He is my hero. But anytime they ever had anything ancient Egyptian happening, whether it was a documentary or it was, oh, I got a card, or it was, I got two cards, an exhibit, baby girl was there. My first tattoo was Egyptian. Do not be anxious about anything. The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:6-7. Yeah, we definitely just got this one. Be assured, if you walk with him and look to him and expect help from him, he will never fail you. George Mueller. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Be still and know that God is in control. Yeah, okay. I wonder. Something's up. I got rigged cards or something. Now you see this deck. Okay? You see this deck. And I don't pre-pull cards or anything like that. I literally shuffle them and whatever comes out. And so I can only think that this is the divine. I give all glory to the divine anyway. So it's like my son. He literally gives me credit for everything. Everything. And I appreciate him for that. And I'm the same way when it comes to the divine. It ain't me, it's the divine. May you be blessed by the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Psalms 115:15. Hope is one of the principal springs that keep mankind in motion. Thomas Fuller. All right, we got 5 out here, 2 to go. And I give the divine credit because I have no clue what's going to come out of my mouth when I start talking. Like when I would do my classes and stuff, literally the same thing I'm doing right now. We would do the cards and we would do Bible roulette. It was a Christian-based mental health facility. So it was only fitting. Because they even had a pastor that would come in on Tuesdays. Tuesdays? Whatever day of the week that was. And right after my class, the pastor would talk to him. And so I never had anything, unless it was like a health, like I had a schedule health-wise. But when it came down to the content, especially when I got to the part about faith, I stepped aside and let God direct me. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their prayer. 1 Peter 3:12. Put your hope in the Lord. Travel steadily along his path. Psalms 37:34. When I was a little girl, I grew up so quickly that, I would see maybe in movies or maybe vicariously people ask children what they want to be when they grew up, or maybe somebody asked me that once. Yeah, I had an uncle that asked me once what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I said, I want to be a brain surgeon, because I was sitting there watching a documentary about brain surgery, and I had to been like 5. Oh, Lord. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I almost swallowed a clove leaf, and I was like, oh, no. Learn the hard way that you don't do that. Nay. I had to come back up. But anyway, excuse me. That was not happening today, baby. But my childhood was very short-lived in the sense that I became very responsible for myself very early. I'm talking about real early. Like DCFS probably would have had a case early. Cooking, all that. Latchkey, all that. But a lot of us in the 80s and the 90s can relate to that, right? These days, though, baby, bye. Let your child come to school sniffling. I don't know if that's, it is what it is. How many we got out here? Okay, so 2 just fell out. Blessed 8 today. Blessed 7 with a bonus. Okay, why not? I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. We cannot always trace the God's hand, but we can always trust God's heart. Charles H. Spurgeon. I entrust you to God and the message of his grace that is able to build you up and give you an inheritance. Acts 20:32. I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. So don't be troubled or afraid. John 14:27. So what I was saying is that the ability to sit and contemplate what I wanted to be when I grew up was just that quick. I was asked at one time, and then next thing I knew, I was truly responsible for myself and my parent to a certain extent. So when I think about people's plans for their future and their aspirations, I can't necessarily relate. But I do know that God cares for babies and fools, much like Forrest Gump, right? And I am baby, by the way. And God has most certainly led my steps. And when I think about it now, what would I have wanted to be had I been given a childhood where I can actually have been a child long enough to have appreciated and to know what it was to be a child? What would I have wanted to be? I think I would have gone into ancient Egyptian history for sure. I would have traveled much earlier in life. I was a banker for a time, and I absolutely adored counting cash. That was chef's kiss. I get paid to do this? I get paid to count cash? What? Sales killed that. I made them. I just didn't like it. It felt like an unrealistic thing. Not sales, but just the concept of the way in which they wanted us to achieve that unachievable goal every single day, given the circumstances. I don't mind raising to a challenge. It's not the issue. It just didn't make sense to me. The point of this is that God's path is always the best. And your destiny is already set. You can take the long road or you can take the short road. You can go kicking and screaming or you can go dancing. But your destiny, honey, God already wrote that. This clove is trying so hard to go down my throat, and we not doing that. All right, so we have the Blessed 7 plus 1. The infinity. Okay, that's what we got today. We got the infinity. 8. Let's see here. Was anything else? Because sometimes I go back and I watch my video and I'm like, there was something about a card I wanted to elaborate on. And I get sidetracked. So let's just see real quick. Ain't nothing like peace of mind, baby. Peace of mind and being able to sleep at night. I wish that on everybody. I'm just going through the cards real quick. Maybe I'll speed through this. Okay. Well, today was quite interesting. Didn't go quite as I thought it would, but it was interesting nonetheless. I guess that all goes back to what I was saying before. You can have your plans, but ultimately, God is going to win. Even on your daily, day-to-day, I had stuff planned out in my mind on how I was going to go, and God had another plan. And I ain't mad. I mean, the universe wasn't wrong. It went exactly how it was supposed to go today. Because at one point, I was intending on an outdoor adventure. And my oldest came to me and was like, it's going to rain at that time. I'm like, says who? It's like, Alexa. I'm like, well, Siri is saying there is no rain. And sure enough, plans went a little bit different. I made an errand. And right around the time that we would have been on this outdoor adventure, lo and behold, drip drop, started to rain. I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad it didn't work out that way, because I would have been hurt and wet, and baby don't do rain. Not unless I am perfectly prepared, honey, which I stay prepared. I have a nice big old umbrella, but what we would have been doing, no. So even when your plans don't work out the way that you intended, still be grateful that they went the way that they did, because 9 times out of 10, one of 3 things is happening. A diversion. A diversion either for your protection or alignment. A prevention. Or, yeah, your protection, alignment, or something better for your greatest good, right? There's a story that I always think about when my boys get frustrated when things don't go quite the way that they were anticipating. About a man who, my candles are going out, was rushing to make a flight. That's one thing I ain't never. I mean, I might be a little behind. I make it a point to be on time. I respect people's time and I expect them to respect my time. And I really feel people who don't respect your time don't respect you. Point blank, period. I don't care how you dress it up. If you don't respect someone's time, you don't respect that person. In which case, why are you in my sphere, honey? But anyway, when it comes to flights, baby, don't play. I'd rather be early sitting around twiddling my thumbs than trying to rush through security. Tauruses do not like to rush. We'll rush ourselves, but we do not like to rush or be rushed. You will meet the horns. I'm telling you now. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you're a Taurus out there. But anyway, there was a man who was trying his best to get to a flight. Stuck in traffic. Everything that you could think of. Couldn't make it. Missed the flight. And later found out the flight went down. What he thought was the worst case scenario ended up being an absolute blessing in disguise. So now, when things kind of go left, I say because that left just may end up being the right that you need. You know. I love how you can pray for a manifestation. You can affirm or you can speak something into existence and not even remember doing so, and it comes to roost later, and not even realize that every single moment from that time that you allowed that to come into your consciousness to even be requested to manifest. Everything that happens from that moment is orchestrated for that thing to come to fruition. So those things that go left are a part of that process. Everything is a part of that process. Even if you forget about it. That's why you have to be so incredibly careful what you speak over yourself. I know people who have been able to reverse health conditions because they became more conscious of the way that they spoke, especially in regards to their bodies. It's amazing what some love will do. Acknowledging your body as the beautiful temple that it is and honoring it with fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and the fiber, and not destroying it haphazardly because you want to eat what you want to eat when you want to eat it. And trust me, I get it. Everything in moderation. But when it comes to the stuff that you know is just gasoline dipped in chocolate, i.e., junk food, and even the things that you think are healthy without actually doing the research to find out those words that you can't pronounce, what they're doing to your body. When you actually honor yourself and give yourself the cleanest possible diet that you can, stay hydrated, exercise yourself, and truly love on you, your body will love you right back. It hears. Every single cell is a mini version of you, and it hears you. It feels you. And like I said before, energy does not lie. So if you're standing in the mirror and you don't even say it out loud, your body heard you. And it's going to move accordingly. I don't know who this woman was, but I remember watching a comedian. I love comedy. I love to laugh. Oh my God, I think that's one of the greatest joys. One of the greatest joys that God has given us is laughter. I'm talking about that deep, throw your head back and just let it out laughter. Tears down your face laughter. Even a chuckle, hell, I don't care. Laughter. And I don't know who she was. She was a comedian. I'll give comedians a shot, especially if I'm just sitting around and I'm like, okay, I just need something in the background because I'm always doing something. I'm always multitasking, working on some project, doing something, child. And I guess she had her own notoriety. I mean, obviously she made it to TV. I'm always impressed with anyone that makes it to television. And she had an audience. So this woman that is a name for herself somewhere in this universe. I just had never heard of her before. And I don't remember the name of the series, but it was something along the lines of her redeeming herself for being so deprecating over the years in her comedy. Like she had built her fame off of self-deprecation, and this was her declaration to the world that she was no longer going to do that. And I was quite impressed at the level of self-awareness. I was like, that is commendable, and I'm glad that you took such a public platform to honor yourself that way. There was a pivotal moment in my life where I literally made the declaration, I'm rocking out with me, I choose me, and you know what? The shenanigans end today. Today, okay? I purposely mispronounce words just so you know. But so I remember watching somebody one time and I was like, and she's a Taurus. And I was like, did she purposely mispronounce those words? And I got to know her better watching her channel, and I was like, oh yeah, she's quirky too. I love it. Rock out with you and honor you. Who you waiting on? Somebody else to do it? Psh, baby, you be waiting forever. No one is going to ever love you. I don't care. If there's someone out there that can love me better than me, challenge on, baby. Okay, like on the Cosby Show, challenge. Okay, as they say, because I am hard to top. Because if it came down to it, I've only seen it in movies and maybe read about it in the paper, or maybe on a news feed where someone sacrificed themselves for another, and it typically is a parent. Okay, but when it came to a romantic partner, I think I've only seen it in movies. I've seen it in movies, and every once in a while it'll hit the news, but I ain't never seen it in 3D. Doesn't mean it's not possible, but you should be a pretty hard one to top when it comes to someone else being able to top your love for yourself. People can only add, but they can't substitute your own self-love, your own self-value. What they say, no one's coming to rescue you. You got to do it yourself. And if you ain't loving on you, something's up. Something needs to be addressed, sweetheart. Even if your parents didn't. There's a quote by Prince, supposedly. I love Prince. May he rest in peace. It was heartbreaking to realize he was a Gemini. That's another story. But it went something along the lines of love yourself so much you don't even notice who doesn't. And I don't know if that is a direct Prince quote, but I did see it somewhere, and they claimed it was a Prince quote, so I'm going to go off of that for right now because I can't ask the man. Nevertheless, the quote is still just as profound. I absolutely believe in love, obviously, because I talk about it all the time. One of my greatest joys was being able to witness couples who have been together for forever. As long as I have been living at that point. Because they were in their 80s and their 90s. And still very much in love. Could you imagine? Loving someone so much. To be that cute at that age. I don't know what they have went through. Who knows? But I can read energy and I can tell you. It was real. I've seen old couples that hated each other. I just don't even understand that one. But I mean, I do, but I don't. Because I know that there are circumstances where people get stuck. They feel like they ain't got no way out. They feel like they've been together for so long. And, they're entangled together now because of legal issues. I don't know. But when I would see the couples who genuinely still adored each other, I would just sit and just pick their brains. I absolutely love that about being a nurse. I love that about being a nurse. Just talking to people, getting to know their story, just having that rapport. It doesn't have to be deep either, just exchanging pleasantries, and energy can read energy. It's like when I walk down the street or if I'm riding my bike, and that's the one thing that really allured me about bike riding on bike paths is when you are in the middle of the day and you're on your own time and you're going one way and the other person's going another way, and you get the acknowledgement nod. That's what started off with me. So I had ridden on the lake, I had ridden on the street and all that, but it's so intimate when you're in such a beautiful environment, like a bike path in the middle of a forest preserve or wherever, and a fellow rider or walker just gives you the, I see you, that little quick exchange of I'm a human, you're a human, and especially when they smile. I'll give people a smile, and sometimes they'll smile back, and some people will give you a stern face, and some people will actively avoid eye contact, and it's all okay. But when you get that connection for that brief little moment, a genuinely warm, welcoming spirit that smiles back to you, can't beat it. It makes the day better. And I absolutely appreciate great customer service, and I will go out of my way to let whoever know. Y'all are doing phenomenal. You know why? Because we are the creators of our own reality. And if I could acknowledge such a beautiful thing as just human decency, especially where I am patronizing a place, and the people are kind, and not that phony kind. I'm talking about genuinely nice. Hey, how you doing? I just noticed that you were looking for something. Can I help you? That type of kind. Or, hey, how you doing? Have a good day. Like, just nice. Like we're supposed to be. Oh, I'm going to let the world know. As a matter of fact, this is so bizarre. I am literally viral on Google Maps. How? Child, I don't know. But when I tell you I have 327,000 views right now on Google Maps, I'm not joking. You see my name, look it up. It's real. Didn't even know. Had no clue. And I started getting notifications like, oh, your post got 71,000 likes. I'm like, or views or some shit. I'm like, what? 71? You're joking. No, it's real. Because I let the world know. If I get good service, somebody needs to know. And if I don't get great service, somebody needs to know. You know why? Because if we don't give that feedback, it's going to continue. One thing I've never understood about anybody that does this, and please feel free to let me know why if you are this person. Would you complain to someone who can't fix the situation? What are you doing? If you didn't like the way that you were being treated, you don't go tell your neighbor. You go tell the manager. And you don't be a dick about it. You just go and say, hey, this was my experience, and I literally can go anywhere, but I chose to come here. And you know what they're going to say? Thank you for letting us know, because that is not the impression that we want to give, and we will do everything that we can to do better. And they take accountability. And you know what ends up happening? Better service. Problem solved. It's very telling for people who complain to people who can't do shit except complain with you. Doesn't happen in my company though. You can only imagine how conversations go with me. All right. Little busted Bible roulette in the dark. Let's see how this gonna go. Because when I tell Alexa to turn on these lights, baby, I now got used to the dark. Now I got to get used to the light again. I don't know. Maybe the branch will be enough tonight, huh? And by branch, I mean literally I have a lit up branch with a dream catcher on the wall sitting in front of me. It's very mystical in here, okay? Because I'm a mystical type of woman. I'm a mystical muse, in case you didn't know. I'm Dee, by the way. I am your nurse. I am your spiritual therapist. I am your travel agent and your personal trainer. I am your big sister in your company at the moment. And we have come to Bible Roulette. And this is my nice busted Bible. Let's see how much longer this Bible makes it, okay? If it make it another 10 years without disintegrating, I'll be, you know, in awe. But if it doesn't and the Lord decides to give me something, give me an upgrade, I'll be grateful. That's why I'm so sentimental. I've had people give me some of the coolest, dopest gifts over my lifetime. And then I hold on to it forever. Which has its pros and its cons. Okay. I'm sitting here contemplating how I want to do this light situation. But first, let's see where Lord give us a word. What is a word on this beautiful weekend night for my beautiful extended family? I have come to keep me company, and vice versa. And scene. Alexa, turn on branch. Let's see. Can I see the branch? Barely. But we're going to make it work. We are in Isaiah. All right. So the question is, are we going to take 9? Yeah, this ain't going to work. Alexa, turn on my lights. Hey, and good morning. Okay. Ciao. All right. So. All right, we definitely take a 9. All I saw was hope in the Messiah, and I'm sold. All right, let's write this down. Ooh-wee. Okay, so Isaiah. Did I tell you that I can only write a mechanical pencil? For real, like I'm not joking. Like it gotta be a condition. Cause I can't stand old school pencils. It's something about the texture up against the paper that just weirds me out. When I was pregnant with my oldest, and I just realized this right now. When I was pregnant with my oldest son, the texture of crispy cookies crumbling when I chewed them, would drive me up a wall. I could not take it. It was like, it weirded me out. And guess what? I just realized right now, he absolutely loves cookies. Like, don't buy him a cake, all right? Don't buy him a cake. Buy the boy some cookies. And I just realized that right now. Could not stand it. And I'm the same way about old school pencils. I'm trying to make sure I sit in such a way that the light doesn't, okay, flood you out. Okay, give me a little halo. But same way about pencils. Can't even do it. Can't even do it, child. And pens is too permanent. It's too permanent because I feel like that's only when I'm signing checks. Okay. Other than that, I might need to fix something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna type it. Okay. So, hope in the Messiah. Now, what's really interesting is, as much as I've been through this Bible, I don't have anything highlighted, written, nothing. Let's see, do I have anything in Isaiah? Song of Songs. We are in uncharted, unnuggeted territory. Nuggets meaning that I usually read what I've highlighted, and I didn't highlight anything until literally Isaiah 54:17. And it says, but in the coming day, no weapon turned against you will succeed. You will silence every voice raised up to accuse you. These benefits are enjoyed by the servants of the Lord. Their vindication will come from me. I, the Lord, have spoken. Boy, let me tell you. It's funny because I was just, oh no, I do have some stuff. Okay. I got Isaiah back on the 13th. I was just talking about how, okay, so I do praise of judgment and salvation. I'm like, how did I miss Isaiah? What? I didn't read this Bible backwards and forwards, child. I know. Interesting, but it's funny when I just read that about vindication, because I personally have experienced people lying on me that I did not know were lying on me until many moons after the fact, only to find out. And it was just like, what? If you are the type of person who will take one side of a story as end all be all truth, Google it. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it says something about you and you need to think about it. All right. So I did not underline anything here. Very interesting indeed. So, be right back. I'm back. So, I paused, and then my phone was like, yay. I wanted to revise myself on what I read here. Essentially, 9 through 11 talks about hope in the Messiah. Everything from, see, and it's like, I want to read this so bad because that's how deep this is, and I really hope that you go back and read this. But I feel like if we read this, we're going to be here for like another hour. And if you only knew how long it took for these videos to upload, honey. But, okay. I'm just going to read this first page, and then I'll just go over the little hors d'oeuvres that I have on the other 2 pages. And we're going to burn some bay leaves, and we're going to go to bed or go out or head on to wherever your next adventure is calling you. Okay, so nevertheless, that time of darkness and despair will not go on forever. So this is Isaiah 9:2. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. For those who live in a land of deep darkness, a light will shine. You will enlarge the nation of Israel, and his people will rejoice. You will rejoice before you. They will rejoice before you, as people rejoice at the harvest, and like warriors dividing the plunder. For you will break the yoke of their slavery and lift the heavy burden from their shoulders. You will break the oppressor's rod. Excuse me. Just as you did when you destroyed the army of Midian. The boots of the warrior and the uniforms bloodstained by war will all be burned. They will be fuel for the fire. For a child is born to us, a son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His government and its peace will never end. He will rule with fairness and justice from the throne of his ancestor David for all eternity. The passionate commitment of the Lord of Heaven's army will make this happen. This goes on to talk about God's anger against Israel. Israel was constantly pissing God off, and yet God still showed up. It really is like a toxic cycle. Like, Israel would do something stupid. God would be like, here go my fury and my wrath. But then God would come back and be like, okay, I love you. Call on my name. I'm here. Aren't we like that with our children? Truly. I know my youngest son, I did not know by naming my son his name. I was going off of him being my junior. I wanted his name to be for us to have the same first 2 initials, DM, right? So I picked this particular name. I knew a boy and a girl with this name. And I wanted it to be meaningful and ambiguous to the powers that be that would see him as an adult earlier and just see his name on paper. Point is, I picked his name because it meant defender and poet. It was not till he got here that I looked it up again, and it also meant defiant. And you know what? He lives up to his name. He's lived up to his name. Okay? And as much as we bump heads, because my child is a Sag, honey. As much as we bump heads, he is a mama's boy. He will put me through the ringer. We were talking about it in family counseling just today, family therapy, about how my oldest just sits back and watches us go at it. But it's a loving banter. You know, it's amazing. He ticks me off, but we love each other so much. And I think that's how God is with Israel, or in this text. It's like, what the hell am I gonna do with you? So anyway, it says, for the leaders of the people have misled them. They have led them down the path of destruction. That is Isaiah 16. That is why the Lord takes no pleasure in young men and shows no mercy, even to the widows and orphans, for they are all wicked hypocrites, and they all speak foolishness. 18. This wickedness is like a brush fire. It burns not only briars and thorns, but also sets the forest ablaze. Chapter 10. What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. They deprive the poor of justice and defy the rights of the needy among my people. They prey on widows and take advantage of orphans. What will you do when I punish you, when I send disaster upon you from a distant land? To whom will you turn to for help? Where will your treasures be safe? You will stumble along as prisoners or lie among the dead, but even the Lord's anger will not be satisfied. His fist is still poised to strike. God don't like it when you keep them out, when you lock them out, when you go against them. Another thing that comes to mind is I was having a conversation with my boys about how I don't understand that people's value tends to be connected to what they do as an occupation or a career. The way that we treat each other on this planet is shameful. That you can have someone, their value is tied to their status. And we can walk right past someone. We can provide for the animals. We can make sure that they're protected and they have their conservation and all of that. But we can walk right past another human being who is struggling and suffering and not make a way for them or protect them or care for them. And that your value is tied, your self-worth is in slavery to a title. And that is what defines you. I said in another video, I don't think that's what God intended for us to do here. I'm going to jump over to 11, and then we're going to burn some bay leaves. And I'm going to send you on about your way. A branch from David's line. 11. Isaiah 11. Out of the stump of David's family will grow a shoot. Yes, a new branch bearing fruit from the old root. And the Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and, understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. He will delight in obeying the Lord. He will not judge by appearance, not make a decision based on hearsay. He will give justice to the poor and make fair decisions for the exploited. The earth will shake at the force of his word. And one breath from his mouth will destroy the wicked. He will wear righteousness like a belt and truth like an undergarment. Truth Drawz, y'all. Truth Drawz. That's why I should name this video Truth Drawz. In that day, the wolf and the lamb will live together. The leopard will lie down with the baby goat. The calf and the yearling will be safe with the lion, and the little child will lead them all. The cow will graze near the bear. The cub and the calf will lie down together. The lion will eat hay like a cow. The baby will play safely near the hole of a cobra. Yes, a little child will put its hand in a nest of deadly snakes without harm. Nothing will hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. For as the waters fill the sea, so the earth will be filled with people who know the Lord. And on that note, y'all, please, please, please go back and read this blessed nourishment from our Creator, from the universe, Yahweh, El Shaddai, Jehovah, Jehovah Rapha, and so on, the great I am. Because this right here, before bed, or whatever you're getting ready to do, is a blessing. Be right back. All right. Change. We're at that point where we're gonna burn these bay leaves, or bay leaf. I'll get some more. What shall we intend? Something beautiful, something amazing. How about sweet dreams? Because yeah, my dreams be like I need to keep some refreshments, like popcorn, some water next to the bed, you know, because that's just how entertaining stuff gets for me when I go to bed at night. And it's been like that since I was 2. Okay, let me focus. I will literally get entranced and swept away by music. I promise you. I really feel like at some point in my life, I'm going to do something amazing with music. And, you know, I keep my plans to myself and move quietly, but I promise you, if it has something to do with music, I would not be surprised. Oop, I just spilled some candle wax. Anybody like candle wax? So here's to your dreams, my sweets. Thank you for tuning in with me. I think this went pretty well for a night session. I was a little leery, because I'm like, okay, am I gonna make it through this? But I'm so glad I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? Success. The same. I love the smell of bay leaves. All right. I didn't know then what I know now. A race is just a all right. On that note, get you some rest whenever you decide to lay your head down, okay? And make sure you remember to count your blessings, because you are blessed and loved, okay? And have an amazing weekend ahead whenever you get an opportunity to enjoy it. Make sure you do. And make sure you're intentional. And have some fun, because I am. All right. Stay amazing. Stay beautiful. Stay lovely. Stay positive. And most of all, my love. Stay loved. Bye. And good night. And good day.